EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchich here with your outlook for June 19th, 2020. We have an upper level low that's going to be sitting over western Pennsylvania and West Virginia today, sitting right about here, and it's going to become the focus of some widely scattered to isolated thunderstorms across our region today. The flow is going to be out of the south today, so these storms are going to be coming up like this around the upper level low as this thing just sits and spins out here in this vicinity. It's going to be weakening over the next couple of days, and it's going to, like we talked about in previous videos, it's sitting here right now. It's going to be a little bit further eastward here on Saturday to right about here, and then finally offshore on Sunday. So during that trek eastward, it's going to take a path eastward very slowly, and that's going to be it's going to be very light winds with this upper level low in place here. This is going to broaden and weaken even more so than it already is, but it will become the focus of some diurnally driven, scattered to isolated showers and thunderstorms over the next couple of days. Now, I don't think it's going to be quite as bad as originally thought by some of these models. As a matter of fact, if you look at the global models here, this is the European model for today, showing what looks like a lot of activity. But I told you earlier in the week, and we were talking about this, and when we were showing all this activity, that it might not be as bad as originally projected. I wanted to see the high resolution NAM come into play once we got into range later in the week, and we now have that. So at least for Friday and Saturday, we have that. So here's a look at what it's showing for Friday in the global models. Here's what the NAM has. Well, this is starting off at noon, nothing prior to that. Okay, just kind of mostly cloudy early on, and then maybe partly to mostly cloudy for a little while. And then again, afternoon, evening, mainly between 2 and 8 p.m., you have these diurnally driven pop-up thunderstorms that are going to move through. And you can see that here. Here's the activity early afternoon starting to creep up here. It's going to be a situation where one of these storms can pretty much happen anywhere further east, but the concentration is going to be out here in central PA, closest to that area of low pressure, the upper level low, since it's sitting right here. All this activity is going to be moving around it and generally moving south and north, but you see the concentration of the activity is going to be in central PA. You might have some isolated stuff a little bit further east here, but the widely scattered stuff is going to be out here in central PA, it looks like today. But it does not look like when you put it on a simulated radar and break it down hour by hour versus something you're looking at like this, which is the previous 6 hours of precipitation. This looks a lot worse. And we were looking at that's the only thing we had in range, and we were looking at this a couple days ago. Now we have the NAM. We can break this down a little bit better and see that what we're dealing with. Isolated east areas and further west in central Pennsylvania, we're looking at widely scattered thunderstorms moving through. These are going to be garden variety, by the way, but they're going to be slow moving without a steering flow in place. And then once we hit the evening hours, this kind of just goes away. Then we get to Saturday on the global models, showing the same thing here with this scattered activity. Now, the low pressure is very broad, and it's kind of sitting over central PA, maybe northern Maryland at this point, but a lot weaker, and the NAM is picking up on that. So here we get to Saturday, same thing in the morning, nothing going on, and then you have this pop-up stuff in the afternoon. Again, very similar to Friday, maybe even less coverage suggested here by the NAM, where it's very few and far in between. So not a lot of activity here during the course of the afternoon. This is looking at 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, 6 getting in the evening, and then it kind of goes away again during the evening hours. So same idea, 2 to 8 p.m., diurnally driven storms can pop up, or they're going to be very widely scattered storms that are going to be hit or miss. All right, so some areas will get it, some will not at all. Some of you will be saying, well, what storms were you talking about? We don't have any storms either the past 2 days, and that's very possible. Then when we get to Sunday, this is out of range for Sunday for the 3-kilometer NAM, because it only goes up to 8 o'clock Sunday morning, but we're expecting more isolated activity here on Sunday, and that's because this upper level low is going to now move off and the associated mid-level low is going to move offshore on Sunday. So that will be just bringing some isolated stuff around the backside. So the upper level low is sitting here. Around the backside of this, you could have some isolated thunderstorms in eastern areas, mainly eastern Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, could get into the isolated thunderstorms here on Sunday. So I don't expect a washout on any given day. That's the whole point. And then we are going to increase temperatures once we get past the weekend. We're going to keep the humidity straight through the middle of next week, folks. So that's not going away. It's just a matter of temperatures being the low to mid 80s for the next couple of days through the weekend. And then once we get into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we could have temperatures approaching, if not exceeding, 90 degrees. And Monday is going to be the first day of that. But we'll have a prefrontal trough of sorts coming at us on Monday, which will give us the opportunity for some scattered PM thunderstorms. Again, this might not be as bad as it looks here, or it may. We'll see. There is a trigger here with a prefrontal trough. on Monday. And then Tuesday, we have a cold front approaching the region, but it doesn't quite get to our eastern areas here. The cold front's still sitting back here at this point. So it's far enough west that all this activities might run into central PA and just be limited there and not get farther east. You see there's a cutoff here. There's really nothing over here in these areas. So this is mainly just central PA. It gets these thunderstorms later in the day here on Tuesday. So we'll watch that for the timing. But there could be some strong storms involved with that, both Monday and Tuesday. I think the stuff up through the weekend is going to be garden variety, hit or miss stuff, and that's it. This might be a little bit more organized here on Monday and Tuesday. And then Wednesday, the actual cold front moves through and pushes through the region. There could be an isolated shower or thunderstorm in some areas as it does so here on Wednesday. Behind this, though, we're going to get cooler temperatures here. Well, a little bit cooler. Temperatures going to be warm, but we're going to still generally be in the mid to upper 80s here for highs on Thursday. But humidity is going to be lower, so it'll feel a little bit more comfortable by the time we get to Thursday of next week once that trough settles in. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchus. That is your outlook for June 19th, 2020. Have a great Friday.